Hello, everyone. Welcome to Naren's Life with MS. This is Naren. It's time for a Truthful Tuesday, and this Truthful Tuesday, considering tomorrow is holy, so I decided to have a little fun and talk about a truth about MS that a lot of people don't. And considering until now that I've only really talked about um, serious things. I thought it would be fun to get a little funny about it. And the truth I wanted to talk about was the fact that with MS, I've kind of lost my sense of shame because for some reason, MS makes you do such things that you totally forget that a concept such as shame really exists. And I can give you a watered down version versus something that actually has happened multiple times. So the watered down version is that um, you first of all, every time you fall, or at least every time I fall, I do want to laugh at myself, but knowing full well that I definitely end up looking crazy. Now, when does it get comical to the point that you want to cry? It's usually when, certain things don't work out, certain bodily functions just tend to work off the clock. And it's usually one of those things where you're not expecting it, right? I mean, I can just share one example. I mean, I was just looking to go to Nepal to uh, volunteer and make rebuild a part of Nepal after the earthquake. And obviously some parts of me said, sure, just don't expect us to be on our best behavior. And trust me, when it's raining outside and you can feel it, and you can really feel it, and suddenly you realize that no amount of power in the world can actually stop what is actually happening because it's already happening. And the worst possible thing is that considering you're in the wilderness, there is there is no easy way to go about anywhere. So it just so happens that that was probably the tamest version of one of those events that happened. And of course, I don't think I need to be more I need to be more wordy about what ended up happening. But it's a very common thing that ends up happening, right? The ability to just lose all of those things. And when I say that I've lost my sense of shame, it's just that I mean, considering I've done everything in public without warning, now I am pretty much of the opinion that I mean, nothing can embarrass me anymore. And so the one of the I almost want to call it like a positive thing, but at the end of the day it's not really. But MS just makes you lose your sense of shame. It makes you realize that I mean, stuff happens, and at the end of the day, you know uh, it's just not your day. And considering that you have MS, chances are there are going to be a lot of days that are not going to be your days. So definitely, don't ever think about, um, MS was definitely a point where I suddenly realized that, I couldn't be color coordinated with my outfits. I could not wear the, fancy shoes. I could not wear anything that was more fashion than comfort. And of course, um, MS definitely taught me that ever I could not ever value any article of clothing, because chances are I would probably ruin it soon enough. So that is just a little bit of truth about MS. And of course, you know, just saying, all of these truths about what goes on and what can be a little unprecedented. There is also the part that, uh, you know, we're all just trying to, live our lives as patients, where we're just trying to, let the day pass, let us, have a day, then go to sleep, and then hope that tomorrow can be a little better than today. But of course, on top of that, know that, if an accident does end up happening, it's usually nothing new, especially if it's an MS patient, because it's probably happened in the past. It probably happened under different circumstances. I've definitely had all of them happen in very, very different circumstances. And considering I talked about, you know um, maybe one of the events out of, god knows, 4 5 different events, it's now I have pretty much decided to turn it into more of a calendar, to see, okay, fine, when is, in this decade, when is that day going to happen? Because between the 3,600 and, I want to say, 50 to 53 days, it's going to happen at least once. And, at the best case scenario is that it happens at least only once. Not at least, only once. So that is a little bit of truth on this Truthful Tuesday. And of course, if you can, you know if you can empathize, if you can understand that, um, being a person with MS, I have lost that sense of shame about, what my body decides to do or wants to do without my permission. I'm pretty sure you can also share your experiences like this, your experiences that pretty much showcase that, I definitely am not alone in all of this. And of course, this is not something that is unique to having MS. This is not unique to even having an autoimmune condition. It's not even unique to, uh, it's not even unique to us being human, for that matter. So please do share your own events that pretty much made you lose your sense of shame, to pretty much make sure, to make you pretty aware of the fact that nothing can actually embarrass you more than that one event did. And hopefully it does end up making you a better person. So with that said, I do want to wish you a good night. I do want to wish you sweet dreams, and I will talk to you tomorrow. And of course, just want to wish you in advance a happy Holi. Thanks and bye.